So, Mouse Rebel recently made this video about how the people or person, I don't know, that bombed Planned Parenthood just signifies the right wing as a general, and how they're violent and how they'll do whatever it takes to get their way. And all I can think about is how this is a clearly false flag attack. I mean, I don't throw that word around a lot, but this is obvious. I mean, when you look at the facts, the fact is that just now, conveniently, when Rick Santorum is dead end with Mitt Romney, now they decide to bomb Planned Parenthood. And who's that going to look bad on? The religious right. And who's that going to benefit? Mitt Romney. I mean, it's going to benefit Obama too, but for the most part, this is to benefit Mitt Romney, the secular right. Now, if you ask me, the religious right doing anything against the corporate right, or vice versa, is just trolls trolling trolls. They're both right-wing, they're both reactionary, but the corporate right is the more bourgeoisie of the two. That much is certain. Even if the religious right themselves as an institution are bourgeoisie, their subordinates aren't. The people that vote religious right are not bourgeoisie. They're just reactionary. They might be counter-revolutionary. They might be counter-revolutionary people that just do not comprehend what needs to be done, but they themselves do not own the land, they do not own resources, therefore it is not a big deal to... you shouldn't be focusing on them, is what I'm saying. And, they think we're stupid. They think we're too stupid to see what's going on here. That, this guy conveniently bombs a Planned Parenthood, yet nobody dies. He puts a bomb in a building, and yet nobody dies, and there's no gratuitous injuries or anything. But it all just comes together nicely for Mitt Romney. For this idea to deviate the right wing from the religious sector, and to make it more plastic and corporate. While at the same time that will attract reactionary leftists, so-called leftists, liberal Democrats, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And, they'll be more persuaded because they've been focusing on the religious aspect of the right, as opposed to what we really need to be worrying about, which is capitalism. Because everything that is wrong with religion is due to the fact that it is integrated in with capitalism. So, the pseudo-left some of them will be persuaded to side with Mitt Romney, and by extension, that wing of the Republican Party, and all of it just comes nicely together for the Republicans. They just need to get Rick Santorum out of the way because they really don't want a religious right corporatocracy. That's what it comes down to. They want a plutocracy, but they don't want a plutocracy bogged down by religious convictions. Because even though that would still benefit them, it's not the best. They can strive for more, and if they can get more, they will get more. That's the way they look at it. They're not going to settle for second best. They're not going to compromise. They're going to take everything they can get and put it all on the line because our lives are meaningless to them. What happens to us means absolutely nothing. It's about getting what they can get. And if you ever read an Ayn Rand book, you would know that that's what they actually believe, and they believe that is the moral cornerstone of the universe. So, I've linked to the Illuminati card Vultures, because that is the best card I can imagine for this scenario. Even if it was not an intentional false flag, even if it's just super convenient for them, and there was absolutely no conspiring involved, it still is going to benefit them. And you would have to be a moron not to take advantage of that opportunity. You would have to be a moron not to see that opportunity, and you'd have to be a bigger moron not to take that opportunity. And they are not morons. They are not stupid people. They are evil, selfish, murderous people, but they are not stupid by any means. And so, the vulture card has been played here. And I'm starting to think that maybe I might be one of the cards too. What gave me that idea was the fact that in one of my older videos about nature and the cruelty of nature and how we as human beings have to transcend nature, someone was saying about the cold, dark void of death is preferable to life. He essentially said that life is an energy war. It is a war between bacterias and mammals and insects, whatever you can imagine. Life itself is war, and it's always about struggling and starving and eating each other just for something. And that perpetual state of energy war is the only good we have to look forward to besides the cold, empty vessel of death. And that in comparison, at least in death, there is no more inequality, there is no more unfairness, there is no more strife and turmoil, there is only death, there is only the darkness. And, I personally don't believe that, but I respect him for that, because he sees the world for what it is. The trouble is, he's not willing to stare the abyss down and challenge it. He has accepted it. He has accepted the way the abyss works, and he's not willing to move beyond it. And maybe that's idealistic. Maybe it's idealistic to believe that we can ever be anything more than victims of the energy war. And that, as much as we try to be benevolent, smart, wonderful people that, make it easier for other living things, and that we innovate our technology and we do all this shit with our lives, that in the end it means nothing, and it's just yet another way to engage in the energy war. And that might very well be the case, but I'm gonna try anyway. I refuse to just die, and I refuse to just believe that that is the only escape, is nothingness. Like, either you have to deal with it, or nothing at all. That's the moderator's logic. It's moderator logic to suggest that if I don't want to get banned and censored and treated like garbage, that I just have to avoid the internet entirely. Because if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. That's their answer for fucking everything. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Everybody keeps saying that. Go somewhere else. Eventually, you don't have anywhere else to go. So stop making me go, or I will make you. I will make you stop making me go. I am on the defensive side. I will stand my ground, and I will break your fucking hands, and then you won't ban anybody because you won't be able to fucking type. It's just that simple. And it's an energy war, indeed. It is an energy war that I want to be able to post what I want to fucking post, and I should be able to. Anyone should be able to, not just me. A lot of people say stupid shit, stupid garbage that is hateful and just ignorant, but I don't care, because it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me because, I say my own shit, and we form bonds, we disagree, we call each other stupid faggots, and then we move on with our lives. But apparently it affects them. Apparently they cannot live in a world where people have freedom of speech and the freedom to think what they want to think. That apparently just... it's beyond their comprehension, and they would rather put a gun to their fucking head, which I hope they do, rather than just let people be and talk amongst themselves. So, clearly, it's the battle of the ability to say whatever you want versus the ability not to say whatever you want, because a lot of people are pretentious little twats that need to be able to control their environment and just cannot stand the fact that some people are vehemently opposed to them on any grounds, or the fact that they're not willing to submit to their whims. That's what it's really about. They're egomaniacal. They need people to, just submit to them. To them, there's no argument. They're not willing to compromise with you. You will either submit to their moderator positions, or they will ban you. That's it. You cannot argue with someone like that. You cannot reason with someone like that. So why are you going to pretend that it is the trolls' fault? That it is the people that DDoS their websites' fault? Oh, Anonymous is so mean and terrorist. No, they're not willing to fucking listen. They don't want to listen. They have made their decision. They have established where they exist on this energy war. And it's time for you to establish where you position yourself in this energy war. I've decided for myself where I stand, but you haven't. You choose to remain in this neutral state of wishy-washy grayness, just waiting for somebody else to take control of your life. And if that's going to be the case, you will get wiped out. Either in the midst of battle, or because people will take advantage of you and eat you, you will get wiped out. You will either be manipulated, crushed because you're in the way, or just take the backlash of all the explosive conflict. Either way, you have to take a stand, or you are nothing. You may as well be dead. So, while I disagree with him morally, I do not find him morally reprehensible, because it's the truth. And it's an unfortunate truth, but it is the truth. And a lot of people are getting really upset with him because of that. Because God forbid we should say what's actually going on. And so the second card being played, and has been being played for a long time, is the one I consider myself, which is nihilist news. So that's all for